Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday evening and it's Let's Talk, and I'm Kath Lloyd from Make the Change. So, tonight we are going to be talking about making time for fun, which is what we should have talked about last week, but I changed it. And just to sort of get things off to a sort of a start with some statistics. A typical a typical small child smiles around, so research says, around 400 times a day. A typical adult, however, is about 17 times a day. So, what's happened? What has happened between, the typical person from being a small child to being an adult? Well, one, yes, we grow up, we take on roles and responsibilities, we get a job, we have children, we look after elderly parents or relatives, and we become engrossed, don't we, in our regimes. And unfortunately, a lot of our regimes don't include as much fun time, which makes us smile more, as we used to when we were little. So tonight we're talking about the different, why it's important to have fun and laughter in our lives, and then to start thinking about, the different sorts of fun that we have and the different categories, and what has more longevity than other sorts of fun. Okay, so just thinking about laughter, for example, laughter is very, very good for us, but it can take a lot of effort to have laughter, to have happiness, especially when we've got a lot of roles and responsibilities on our hands, especially when we've got, deadlines to be working to. And that isn't just deadlines for us, it's about deadlines to support other people as well. And so we can very easily get bogged down with other stuff, which then can put strain on relationships, it can put strains on your job, it will put strain on your health and your mental well-being. But laughter is really, really important for us, because actually, it's like I've said, it's very, very good for us. It gets our blood flowing in a good way. Yes, anger and frustration gets our blood going through adrenaline, but with that you get a lot of negatives. But laughter, yes, it gets our blood going, it helps our immune system, it lowers our blood pressure, it lowers our cholesterol levels, it improves relationships at work, at home, with family, with friends, and so it's actually a lot more social. And so, going out and being social is going to have other benefits as well, because it's going to be about bonding. And when we laugh with other people, we're talking, it encourages touching each other, it encourages eye contact. And so that's why laughter is an important part of life, and helps us flow in a lot nicer way than not being happy. And also it's good for the muscles. And yes, some people say, well, I've got horrible laughter lines, here, here and here. But, that's good. It gives us character. When you look at people who've had lots of Botox, where's the character in their face? That is just my opinion, of course. So, yes, I mean, fun comes in different sorts of formats, doesn't it? And, the first one is, and I'm just going to have a little look here. Yeah, it's challenging. All right. And, so it's organised. It takes, unfortunately, time. It takes effort. And the challenging fun, can bring tension and anxiety and frustration with it. And I found this with, sanding the hardwood floors, when I've stretched myself. And yes, it was a huge challenge. It's hugely frustrating. It brought with it anxieties. But at the end of the day, the sense of achievement at the end of doing the task, the enjoyment of looking at my hard work has created a great sense of self-worth. It's brought new skills. It's brought new... it has, changing the phrase, it has enlightened me a lot more. And so, challenging fun has a great longevity to it, because something that's challenging, it's it also brings great memories as well. You can forget about the anxieties and the stresses and enjoy and celebrate and relish in what has gone well with that challenge. Okay, so the next sort of fun is accommodating. So again, accommodating fun needs a bit of organisation. Yes, it can, and you need some, sort of support of other people. And accommodating fun might be things like getting together with friends, getting together with family, having some kind of a party. And, you are going to have to do a little bit of organisation and a little bit of coordination. But at the end of the day, that is going to bring and give you a great bonding process, which is going to be great for your relationships, and have fun and laughter along the way. And that is again going to have longevity in it, because it's going to give you great memories to think back on and future conversations with the people who were there. And so again, accommodating fun is very, very good for us, because it's all about relationship building, conversation, and having things, doing things that you've got in common with other people. Then the third type of fun is relaxation fun. So this is really, we're looking on the passive side here. So it doesn't involve a lot of effort. It's you can do this very independently. And it doesn't need a lot of organisation. So these are things perhaps, like watching TV, watching your favourite soap or a film, or reading or knitting, or, jigsaw puzzles, or whatever it is that you do, you can do quietly on your own, without a lot of intervention from other people. But the thing is that, which is going to give you the greatest longevity? Well, the challenging fun and the accommodating fun is going to give you the greatest sense of achievement, the greatest fun, the greatest sense of well-being at the end of the day. And so this is the thing, but how are you going to put this fun into your life? Especially when you've got big deadlines, especially when you've got a lot of roles and responsibilities and things, weighing on your mind. Perhaps you've got things like, perhaps redundancy coming up, or retirement coming up, or you're worried about perhaps a consultation that you've had at the doctor's. These are things that are very, very difficult, but this is where, our relationships with our friends and our family are really, really important, so they can support you through it and encourage you to join in the fun, or to help you and guide you into something that you like doing, so that you can, boost your body in the right way, so that you get a better feeling about yourself. Because if we're having fun, if we're having laughter, at the end of the day, it makes us feel great, doesn't it? And I work, with my clients around this sort of thing. And, I talk to them about what is your, before you go to bed at night, what is your intention for the next day? So if one of the things is that they're unhappy, they are struggling to have a sense of achievement in their life, they're not getting much fun and laughter in their lives, then one of the things that they will be sort of thinking about the night before is, what sort of fun do they want to have? If life is really, really a struggle, then just having one dose, you could say, of laughter a day might be a real sense of achievement. And yes, it is rather like having a prescription from the doctors. So your prescription is one laugh a day for a week, and then you're going to increase that to 2 laughs a day, and then it's about doing your best to make sure that happens. And if it hasn't happened, why hasn't it happened, and how can you make it a part of your day? So even though you're busy at work, you're busy with the kids, what can you, or elderly parents, what can you do without having to make big changes in your life to have that fun? So is it about having conversations with specific people that make you feel good, okay, and relaxed? Because let's face it, if we're relaxed, we can have a bit more fun and a bit more laughter. So where is it, how are you going to fit it in to your life? Okay, so it might be, well, I'm going to have a conversation with somebody on the train. And that's where, you can tap into what the other person is doing. And that is just through having the nerve, or being brave and striking up a conversation with somebody. And quite often or not, when we have those sorts of conversations with people, it's amazing what you can chat about. It's amazing what sort of things you might have in common with somebody that you've never met before. So it's always worth a shot. And if they don't reciprocate, well, you've lost nothing, have you? You get back to your reading your book, or listening to your music, or messaging, or whatever it is that you do when you're on long journeys. So the task today, or for the rest of the week, is to clarify whether you feel as if you're getting the fun and laughter in your life, and then thinking about how you can incorporate it easily into your life, unless you want to set yourself up a project which is going to be the challenging fun. And then how are you going to implement that? And so it's just like I work with my clients, is have a little think about it, the first step tonight. And then, because over the night, your brain is going to start processing all of this information, and you're going to wake up in the morning and you'll be in a better position to be able to implement and make sure that is happening in your life. And if it isn't, then it's about stopping yourself and saying, hang on a minute, last night I made the decision that X, Y, and Z was going to happen. It's not happening. And remind yourself and go back over the information and have a think about how you can change it. Okay, because if you have been struggling with fun and laughter for a long time, then it's going to feel strange, because you've got yourself out of the habit. And that's why people go to things like laughter yoga. When I did stress relief awareness days, and I've had Murray Maggie, that's her trade name, come in to join me for stress relief awareness day. So I went to some of the classes to see exactly what it was like, and a lady turned up, and she hadn't been able to come to the classes for whatever reason for the last few weeks, and she says, I haven't laughed for 2 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to laughter yoga tonight. And actually that made me feel, one, really quite sad that she hadn't laughed for 2 weeks, and two, it made me happy that I am able to implement it into my life and have the people around me who help me do it, who I can tap into, and I can have fun and enjoyment with them. So, a few little things for you to think about tonight. And next week, which actually flows on really quite nicely from this week, we're going to talk about happiness, because happiness is, I think we all strive for it. How do you know you've got it? How do you know you haven't got it? And what makes you happy? So have a good evening, have a great week, and I will speak to you next Wednesday, 8 o'clock, for Let's Talk, and we'll be discussing happiness. Bye bye now.